Oh, greetings. Thanks for joining us in this broadcast. All right, this is okay. We're off the cloning subject, sort of. So, been looking at James Bond a little bit differently recently. That's nothing new to others that are out there that probably have seen this, and I just never really gone into it. But uh, James Bond, um, super soldier, definitely super soldier. They try to make those movies, they're almost killing the actor half the time. So I mean, you look at like those like Casino Royale. I mean, they're doing like superhuman shit through the whole thing, and apparently everybody has the energy of a super soldier, basically. So the reason I'm bringing this up is we're kind of going into strange times, or we are already in strange times. Where something like this is definitely going on. At least, you know, super soldier spies and all that is in the astral realm or in the fourth dimension or secret space program reality, whatever you want, however you want to look at it. Um, so you say the movies are because the movies, who the hell reads the books, but well, even the books, but the movies will just go by just it's kind of like a build up to what we're going through right now, at least on a super soldier level of basically physique. The anyway, it's like the Daniel Craig version of a super soldier, basically. So another thing of getting a connection about, I'll go into I'll channel somebody to go into a bit more detail of that. Obviously, there's blockages everywhere on this, but because it's on like a galactic scale or it goes on forever in the universe. So we are going into a time of breaking down darkness. We haven't quite succeeded fully, but we are in the direction of it. We're like at 100% manipulation. So hopefully go down to 75 or maybe 50%, maybe 25%, maybe 0% eventually. But it seems like it is maybe not now, but over time it will start to dial down and start to recede or pull back. It's 11:11 at this moment. That's right. Tomorrow is 11:11. I forgot about that. I guess I could put 11:11 in the title, but anyway. Um, so kind of gonna go off in a little bit of a different, going in different directions. Um, our planets here, Mars, Jupiter, Venus. I believe a lot of our alien friends, they have to they have to know these worlds pretty well when they're connecting with us. Especially Mercury. Mercury seems, I think that was it. Mercury was very similar to us in a lot of ways. I know that people say that um, Venus is, but it feels like Mercury is very connected to us also. And alien beings have to learn about those planets. The Uranus is very much of like a psychic planet, like a psychedelic planet, but a planet of higher dimensional powers, basically. I was getting it down. Yes, right. I got a message. It's kind of like Uranus is like Superman's Krypton. It's like a power planet. Of course, you can't really see it. Well, you can feel it. Let's put it that way. Yeah, you can feel it. It's just all about intuition, anyway. But it's like a planet with all the powers, you can say. And Jupiter is a world that is, they know all about us, but even they're kind of testy about us, meaning that a lot of aliens go to Jupiter, Mars, other planets to learn about us. Instead of, it's like sometimes you have to go to different planets before you get to us first, because we're so screwed up, and you gotta be careful with our timelines. I mean, But you can go to other planets, and if you want to connect with us, and it's like less impact. But if you mess with us, other beings can interfere with our timelines, and we can just throw everything off. So like we're heavily guarded. I think some people already know about that. So, but I've been getting kind of a just over time, this things will make more sense. Right now, nothing makes sense, so it's not that important. But you know, like our sun's very heavily guarded, so it's just basically for alien contact. Like we already have some channeling energies from Venus, of course, different planets, but I believe that will start to increase. I mean, a lot of alien beings like Pleiadians and Sirians, even them will talk through uh, Jupiter beings and Venus beings to connect with us. It's kind of like a filter to get to us because we're just, we kind of had enough. So either way, like the James Bond thing is going on, connecting to that recently, that seems to be um, a lot of that's kind of increased recently, especially with the like Saturday they had um, the Biden thing going on. I felt like there's a lot. I mean, I was getting attacked like crazy all Saturday morning, and then the whole thing with Biden happened Saturday night. So it looks like the red wave is on its way too. So anyway, enough about that. So going to a connection here. This is not exactly for everybody, but that's just the way it's going to be. This is I'm talking about my private sessions. Scheduler, gift cards, one at channel, Google Hands, Zoom and channel by phone. Shop here. Actually, add. I'm on. I forget what I'm on. I think I'm on the 3rd, November 3rd. Oh, that's not good. Jeez, whole thing. Oh, everything just. Shoot, my old browser. Great. Oh, everything. Yeah, everything just crashed. Great. That's nice. Guess I can't leave anything open anymore. Shit, I guess I hit something. Shit. That doesn't happen ever. Fuck. I don't think it's doing anything. Nothing. I'll have to just start over again. Oh, I'm back. Jeez. Yeah. I thought I'd start over again. All right. Well, never mind on that. Yeah, everything crashed. So here we are again. Jeez. Okay. All right. We'll just do it. Jeez. Yeah, my whole browser crashed and I thought I had to restart. So, okay. All right. All right. We're just going to a connection here and dive wherever we can. I never had that happen. So that's nice. Okay. All right. Blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are the Pleiadians. Greetings. There are, yes, a marker points around your planet, the different worlds that we are allowed to connect with easier than yours, as yes, your planet is very dense and very fragile. So interaction with your planet isn't always approved upon. So connecting to Jupiter, Mars, Venus is more accessible than your world. So, and yes, there are Jupiter beings, there are Venus beings, there are Mercury beings. Nothing. It's all. Not everyone connects to them. Not everybody knows about them because some beings go to Jupiter and nobody's there. There's different. Everyone's on a different vibration, different energies. Not all Jupiter beings like everyone either. So, and same with the Mercury beings, and they just don't want to pay it. So, you go where you can for information on your world because not every alien has a knowledge of your planet. The Super Soldier Secret Space Program with James Bond and all, yes, is very well. It's not called that. There are programs that are called James Bond, to Super Soldier programs that are called that for, rebuilding your body and the task at hand that you want to experience. As you are going through a clone environment, cloning is becoming a little bit more known in your planet. And at least it's been going on for some time, but more knowledge is being brought in little by little. Of course, a lot of it's being suppressed because the world's not ready for it just yet. But yeah, it is a normal experience as you will start to understand that in your development. As you're still learning, you're going more galactic. So yes, of course, it's going to be more tailored to you eventually. As many of you have been in those positions, and it also has been male and female super soldiers, not just a male group, far from it. It just on your world is depicted in different ways, but not all things are brought in completely. But many of you have had incarnations as a super soldier on realities, even to go on to other planets to unlock knowledge on another world, so humans can think more clearly here. As even Mercury, Mars, Venus can be used against you. And so you go to other worlds to release those blockages. Now, obviously, your normal human, your average human, as you call it, this is something that's not, they don't think like this. But many of you astrally have known you've been on to other worlds doing who knows what. But it's also to unlock a lot of knowledge. Because some beings feel like you're not ready for anything, but you say you are. And so there's a little bit of skirmishes here and there. So as you go into your awakening, you're going to see much more of you connecting more to higher dimensional knowledge as you're going through right now. There is governments, galactic governments on all planets. Even Pluto has a energy there too. So not that it's the same type of government as yours, but there's rules that some of you don't comply by, which does cause sometimes difficulties. But sometimes like your alien self can do what they're not supposed to do, and then your human self kind of pays for it, feels very tired, or You have to make well, if you make a mistake, sometimes you have to make up for it. Let's put it that way. But a lot of your blockages has to do with not just a contract. You have contracts with all these planets also. Well, you're bringing their knowledge here, but through a human element. Yes, there's a lot of negativity here. Yes, through different beings, reptilians, for example, and even some Anunnaki. But a lot of it comes from the reptilians, not all of it. But even the reptilians are here to keep you in your program. They're here to keep you because you signed up for it. It is what you make of it. So you're going into a time of reset galactically, meaning that downloads are going to become easier for many of you. Of course, many are still eager to get to know more. Some people want downloads, but they don't realize how third dimension there still are. They look at it from a third. If you have more patience for it, you'd be surprised what knowledge you can bring in. If you're always eager for it, sometimes it works. A lot of times it doesn't. You just let it flow, let it grow, just like a tree. You just let nature bring knowledge to you. It's a gradual process. The more you less fight it, the easier it is, usually, but some just like to fight it. And sometimes that does work. Sometimes it does speed things up. But as you go into more of a galactic world, some of you start to see beings that's in their third eye become more clear in your next year. Yes, it does not mean ships are going to land and you're going to have a nice picnic. No. Well, some might see that astrally, but basically visualizing these beings for some of you will become more clear. It might not be every day, it might be every once in a while. Most likely it won't be that frequent. It's just the Earth's energies are becoming lighter, as if you are working with the planets around you. As the planets around you, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, are used as a lock to keep you to learn what you're here to learn. Keep you on the contracts you're here to that you're contracted for. So not all worlds are wanted to be involved with that, but we'll let you decide. Yes, they're not just there for no reason. They're not just there to look attractive, as even many of you know that Saturn plays a big role, but also Jupiter plays a big role also in what comes and goes here. So eventually that become more clear to you as you're going through your awakening. Mars is just it's significant, but the Jupiter actually plays more of a role here, but not many of you can go to Jupiter and just land on there to see what's going on. It's a little more complicated there, as you can see through the surface. Of course, even fourth dimensional, it's still complicated. Even fifth dimension, it's still complicated. So it's not always the easiest energy to connect with. Jupiter beings can be very sometimes arrogant, just like Martians, a little bit different. A little more direct. Yes, they do have a kinder nature to them, but they're very direct. A lot of them do not have personalities. They do, but it's very dry. Well, they don't feel like they need to have a wild personality, as many of you do here. Some of you get that from the reptilians. Some of you get it from mantis beings. That it goes on and on. But a lot of the Jupiter beings, well, a lot of these beings are here to keep your world alive. And Jupiter is one of them. It's like, you know what you're going through. Yeah, a lot of these planets, of course, many of you probably felt timelines where Earth was destroyed. But these planets are here to keep you alive. You might not, I believe some of you understand. You might not fully understand it, but you understand it it's like it's nature. It's just like, the universe is like nature itself. It's like a jungle. It's however you want to look at it. But everything plays a part. So your world plays a part in other growth of other planets, but others are keep making sure that you achieve what you're here to achieve. And there is secret knowledge. And there are, once again, one of the reasons why the connection was broke off, because there is James Bond programs out there, not the movie program, but actual secret space programs that are part of Secret Soldier. Yeah, there's versions of that. A lot of it is on Mars. It's on other places too. There's also a female Bond that's not really mentioned. Even the Bond girls. Actually, the Bond girls are actually similar to him. Has actually defeated him many times too. because they have the ability themselves. It's not like the movies, though. But they do have a role in all of this too. So that's just to give you a glimpse of what's going on. And some of you can feel those realities. Not every does not fit everybody, obviously. Not everybody's an astronaut. Not everybody's a race car driver. So this doesn't apply to everybody. Not everybody's a scientist. So, well, yeah, you have to work for these things. It takes a long time. It's not as glamorous as it might seem like it is. It might no, it's not. Looking at it might be glamorous, but living it isn't. So some of those positions would be very difficult, as you can see, if you imagine it, of course. But as you are going through a course of awakening, and basically dissecting your world, looking at it different. Your awakening is just looking at your planet with a different set of eyes. That's your fourth dimension. Is really looking at everything, your history, everything. Because it's already been told to you, but some feel yes, that aliens are going to arrive, but as you're allowing more of an awakening within yourself. Because be surprised how much fear is out there. If you allow the strange to come through, the strange isn't so strange, isn't it? Because there's been so much limitations put on your planet. The truth is very difficult to get to from the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is very easy to get to, actually. But there's been so much limitations in the mind, blockages within the mind, it's made it very difficult to understand it. As many of you know, many of you are becoming more understanding of it, and everybody thinks you're crazy. So this isn't malicious energy, this isn't paranoia, it's nothing like that. It's basically just looking at the world, yes, with a different set of eyes. And then everything will start open up, your secret space program become more clear to you, as many just have many just aren't ready, yes. They have a blockage within their minds, like, I don't see how that's even possible. That has a lot to do with soul growth from past incarnations. They're just not at the level to let go of the third dimension, the physical reality, just yet. There's too much offerings them. Now, if everything turned against them, it's like, okay, this reality is not working for me anymore. Nothing's working for me. I feel better looking at spiritual energies, astral energies. That also means that you're graduating more to a fourth dimension environment. Is that the physical no longer pertains to you. Now, it's not like if you're into the physical, you're at a lower stance. No, it's just not every, there's higher dimensional beings I've never experienced the physical. Some of you go dive in and you show how glamorous it is, and others. So there are beings that feel like they can't handle it, and in some ways they're right, but that's not always true. There's always ways around it, always ways of making it work. Just many just are terrified of this world, and I believe some of you understand why. So, some souls are very fragile. And incarnating in a world like this is just, everything wrong in their belief system. Disconnecting from their alien friends, spirit friends, and just kind of like losing your innocence. Not everybody is here to do that. So you incarnate as a flower or as a tree. It's a lot lighter. It's a lot easier. So, greetings. This is Novak. Greetings, Reptilian, Alpha Draconian. Greetings to your civilizations and your chaotic timeline. Well, some of you have been warned. Well, I wouldn't call it warned, but we gave you memos, cliff notes. We let you know what you're getting into. So basically, why you're going through why your world, because of the hard-headedness of this planet, at least in the United States. There's a lot of hard-headed beings here. As many of you know, some of you incarnated in their family, and you know exactly what we're speaking about. Hard-headedness. Now, this is normal. Higher dimensional beings can be the biggest pain in the asses in the universe. Well, because in the higher dimensions, everything goes right for them. They know everything, and that's true. And then they come here, and then they still think that, even if everything's does nothing, they live in their own world. Let's put it that way. Some are doesn't mean they're draconian, doesn't mean they're reptilian, doesn't mean they're Zeta. It's just that higher dimensional beings. Some are Arcturian. There's different beings. Some just are so hard headed here. Uh, no, now there's different hard headedness. There's others that are just not ready for a fourth dimension environment. No, because the physical becomes so real. It's like nobody can look past it, or most can't. It's so real. It's reality. Many of you have just obviously had enough of physicality, and you feel the spirituality. That's why your third eye opens up. That's why all your senses open up so easily, or some of your senses at least, is because you had enough of the physical. That's really what it comes down to. All the negativity of the physical, and that's why you're here. Many say, "Why am I here?" You're here to lighten the load. There's more to it than that, but obviously those aren't always revealed. Some of you are sun beings. Maybe you're just energy beings. And the earth needs that vibration. This might feel like depressed. You might want to be on drugs all day. We understand that. Finding a life purpose is up to you. Being is very important right now, but that's not all we're here for. And that's not just to be and share your light, and that's about it. No. But that's for you to discover. We can't go into details of everybody's life. It's just kind of impossible. But the reason why humans are so locked down the way they are is because the physical is so real to them. And it does have a lot to offer. And they have a lot of things they want to understand from it. So it's blockage. I wouldn't call it blockage, but it is like door after door after door. And they're not ready to open them all to spiritual enlightenment. But many are bringing that, well, the third dimension, yeah, they're running out of doors, they're running out of space. We're going more into an Atlantean timeline, of a higher dimensional timeline. Anunnaki timeline, even Anunnaki, they're not really prepared to like share their skeletons with you just yet, or all the things they've been through. They're not ready to share all of that. Yes, there are days of our lives. They help the female be more female, but also the male become less muscular, more feminine, actually. They also, Anunnaki has healed a lot of reptilians basically to stop being so selfish, because selfish beings are just, that's all, well, not all races are reptilian, but many are just selfish. We have a thumb up our ass, basically. Some do, not all. Well, it's a soldier's life. Not all reptilian worlds are like that. Some are more primitive. Those are usually the ones that are easy to get along with. They're just hanging out, just enjoying the day. But a lot of reptilians feel like they got to take over the world, take over the universe. And that's from Orion. Some is from different. That's from different places, not just Orion. Well, some of the reptilians feel like they don't want to see as weak. They want to see they're all powerful. So, but some of them. Now, there is karma with reptilians. I don't care what people say. A lot of them are keeping you in your third dimensional world because they're told to. It's just that's their mission. Now, they get stripes. They get awards, not awards like yours, but they do get, the key. It's just now. Many of you broke out of that spell a long time ago, but it's to keep people. Now, you call it a suppression. There's a lot of that. Some of them have gone too far. There's a lot of that because there's a war going on that you're not seeing. That's another reason why the connection here got broken down, of course. There's been a war going on, yes, for thousands of years, if many of you know, an alien war. And that's why some alien beings do go to Mars, Jupiter, because it's a lot easier there than it is here. Even if there's no beings there that want to talk to you, it's still a lot lighter than Earth. Earth is kind of like, it's just too much paperwork, as you would say. Super Soldier program of, what is it, James Bond? Yeah, it's very real. And many of you are part of those incarnations now, more than ever. because some of your tasks are being active. And now in astral, or as that being, or something similar to it, you call it like a code name. Now you can go from male, female, androgynous, non-binary, whatever. But there's different beings that are not obviously that's for you to connect with. That's not exactly what they call themselves, but that's for you to identify it. Because some of you, why you get pulled into certain entertainment is for a reason. Because you feel like you're part in that, not just because your ego says I'm just a superhero. No, you feel like you're actually involved with it. Some people just feel like I'm that person and all that. So obviously it's not as exciting as some might think, but it is still going on to a certain extent. And that's what you're here to evolve into. Oh yes, always talk about, well, the secret space has not exactly been fully explained for obvious reasons. But as you go more into space, it will become more clear. As the negativity on your planet, basically there's like treaties. Basically, a lot of alien beings have taken over your planet. I think you already know that. And they have rules. Does that happen with any invasion? And there's a lot of alien beings that have taken over your world. Not just one group, but several. And they're all, not to say working together, but they're all trying to get their way. That's why they don't have ships in their skies and all that. Well, a lot of the regimes are being healed at this time. Doesn't mean they're going to be fully gone, but that's why some of you feel there's a enlightenment, a lighter energy coming in. So some beings have been suppressing your world forever, guys, super desperate. In case you haven't noticed, without going into details, you feel that desperation. They don't care if it doesn't work. They're going to do it anyway. So you go into your enlightenment. So we do see timelines of a lighter energy, yes. Doesn't mean you're out of the woods yet, but we see a lighter environment where you can feel more clear in the mind, which many have had a lot of difficulties with. But many of you are becoming more sensitive. So your third dimensional physical person will just take some kind of Advil or something, or just sleep all day. But there is a suppressing energy here, as you can see. There are energy weapons used against the planet, of course. Everything known to man has been used here. Some of it is coming from Jupiter. The way your world is operate, a lot of it comes from Saturn, the timelines. But a lot of these, yes, the planets are also to help you with their timelines. But they don't want you to get out of it. Once a group takes over your world, they can't take you out of it. It's like once humans say yes and get taken over, they agree to it. Not everybody does, but majority rules. So the planets have to help you, help you through it. Now, can they interfere? They can't interfere with human, because you made a choice here. But many of you are making a choice for an awakening. That's why you're incarnated. It's like, why did I incarnate this world? Oh, to awaken it. So what's my purpose here? To awaken it, awaken the planet. Doesn't mean save it, but just assist with the awakening. Let's put it that way. On a massive scale. It's not going to be something that's going to be done overnight, as many of you might notice. But yes, as you connect more to the different planets, Sirius, that's one plays a big role here. Well, Sirius played a big role in keeping your world alive. They brought a lot of assistance here, as a lot of their knowledge was used against humanity. The Egyptian energies was used against humanity. Language is used against humanity. As well, the reason they want it through voice so they can control it. If it's in the mind, it's harder to control a society that way. So that's why people aren't telepathic. They shut it down, or found a way to shut it down, so you can be more vocal, so you can mess with the words. So you have less of a vocabulary actually. So there are many words that actually are activation words that they're not allowing through just yet. That can heal things I know it sounds a little bit weird, activation words, it sounds a little strange, but there are words missing in your vocabulary that can help you evolve into a higher dimensional energy. That can actually help you open up your telepathy too. There's a lot of suppression here, as you can see, and it was never meant to be easy. So if you're going through hardships, of any kind, you're part of the resistance. I know it's if you feel you are, others might not be, but if you know you want the enlightenment of basically for humans to have a more grasp of what's going on here. People feel like the aliens are going to save everything, but it's really the human. You're more incapable of healing yourselves, but you're being blocked to do so. I think many of you can agree with that. I mean, if you can do more, but instead you're just at home, wearing a mask on your head or something like that for right now. But as the blockage is released, and you can feel like you're just more mobile around the world. So it takes time. Yeah, this is not an easy fix. But I believe some of you have an understand what we're speaking about. All right, blessings to your society. Take care of yourselves. All right, take care.